Lillian the Waters. Spiritual activity. Everything that is of value to us in our appearing world has its roots or actual existence in the real world, even to objects about us. I recall a very interesting incident along the line of perception. A woman had sent for an upholsterer to call for a chair to be covered. A few days later, he returned, saying that due to a fire in his building, much of his stock was destroyed, including her chair. Positive as he was of this fact, also his willingness to pay the full value for the chair, she was equally as positive that her chair had not been burnt at all, and that he would find it to be so. She dismissed the matter with utmost calmness and assurance, for in her heart she knew all such objects to have their existence in the universe of the one mind, eternal substance, spirit, or whatever word relative to reality one chooses to use as most valuable to him. She continued knowing the reality and changelessness of the chair in the real world, where it remained unharmed. Later, the man returned, explaining with amazement that he had located it in another part of his building altogether, where it had remained safe and untouched by the fire. This is a hint to all that we should not consider things and objects about us as perishable matter, but come to know all things in their true significance and meaning. All of us have no doubt had certain articles of clothing which we liked and enjoyed very much remain practically impossible to wear out. What one believes to be a world of unreality, matter, is not so at all. The realm of world of the real, which is the only world there actually is, contains things and objects which are perfect in themselves as contained within the one all. What appears before me, for instance, is my particular version of the one world. That is, if I see my own interpretation of it, and if my interpretation is incorrect, the unreality or illusion is not in the appearance seen before me, or even in my misinterpretation of the real, but in the fact that I accept such appearance to be reality itself. In such case, what we see is not reality, but only shadows of it. The real world remains necessarily the same for us all, but our interpretation of it varies, and what we see before us depends upon our awareness and understanding of things as they really are. We may also carry this idea into our interpretation of the body and its various parts. I have known the lame to walk, and many healings apparently to take place in the objective appearing body through one's realization of some particular organ or part of the body as it is and ever remains in the world of reality. This way is very well put forth in 2 Corinthians 5:8. Quotes, "We are willing rather to be absent from the body as it appears objectively, and to be present with the Lord. See the body as it is in reality in the spiritual world." Be no longer confused by such metaphysical terms as matter, the material senses, material beliefs, mortal mind, and so on. Simply dismiss them altogether. Furthermore, lose all sense of responsibility to heal yourself or another, to make a demonstration, or to prove or apply the truth. Concern yourself only with realities which you will see as you look into the real world, heaven, and teach those who ask for your help to do the same. We need no attempt to analyze the perfect body, but there are some definite facts about it which we should know without shadow of doubt. We can be certain that it is perfect in itself, in and of one Creator, God, being, world, or eternal reality. We are aware that such perfect body cannot be impaired, sick, deformed, imperfect, or incomplete, that it is endowed with indestructibleness, harmony, and eternality. No part of this heavenly body in the spiritual real world can be amputated, diseased, lost, or mutilated. This we know. We can think of such bodies as a spiritual idea or a spiritual form. In either case, we are to be convinced through inner illumination or realization that such body is a changeless reality. Holding our vision and our awareness here to the established and only, our thoughts and feelings will follow naturally, and we shall lose the illusion of imperfection or incompleteness in another body. This will appear as a healing, yet nothing has changed anywhere. We have discovered the seeming appearance of imperfection to have had no existence whatever in the world of being. John 1:3. The one consciousness in the real world is that of us all. Here we have no separate minds or wills, for the mind of God, the one all, lives, expresses, and abides within us as a unity. Considering oneself like a single ray of light, for instance, he sees all others as also separate rays, because he has lost the sense of unity or oneness. Thus, here is where problems arise and where it is impossible to solve them. The one perfect consciousness is sole creator and creation, as the scriptures teach. Creation is not a thought, act, or emanation of being, but is being. Creation is reality, and reality is creation, one and the same. Spiritual ideas or forms, as they are in their reality in the real world, need no healing, for they are as perfect as God, from everlasting to everlasting. They are neither matter nor composed of matter. They can never be subject to pain, weakness, time, or discord, for these things have no meaning in the one world. In God realization, we know that flesh, as it is in reality, cannot be diseased, nor blood impure. This lesson, as well as the previous ones, should throw added light, if needed, upon the following references from my latest book, Who Am I? As follows. How can anyone, believing that he is another being, in another place, ever find himself where he is? As in light there is and can be no darkness whatever, so in me there is and can be nothing physical, nothing human, nothing mortal or imperishable, whatever. Look to the perfect self as your very own. When the ignorance disappears, whereby the false identification is made, only the self is. When one sees and accepts his true identity, then the false and the unreal will utterly vanish. Only the infinite will ever completely satisfy anyone. Nothing will ever cause illusion to vanish except for us to function in our true state.